Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Manashri. I'm currently pursuing my MBA in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bengaluru, affiliated to VTU, Belgavi. So this video is part of business communication, and in this video we will be talking about characteristics of business communication. So, the word communicate has been derived from a Latin word called communis, which means to share. So, we all know what is communication. We use in our daily life. We communicate with each other to express our feelings, to express our thoughts, to express our information and our ideas to one another. Communication is nothing but a process by which the information is being shared from a person to person or from person to a group of persons. So there will be a sender, there will be a receiver, and the information is being shared through a medium, the way of expressing their thoughts by the facial expressions or the gestures, the body language. Everything is very important in communication. Similarly, when we talk about business communication, the communication which occurred in the business environment is called as business communication. So, the business communication environment will be filled with workers, the employees, and the managers, the way they interact themselves, the way they are going to share the information from person to person in the workplace and outside the company is called as business communication. The main objective of effective business communication is that organizational goals. So every company will have its own organizational goals, and the motive is nothing but the company has to reach their goals with in a very short period of time. So similarly, this effective communication in a business organization helps the company to achieve their goals in a very short period of time. When we talk about the main topic, that is the characteristics of business communication, there are various characteristics which are important in the various characteristics which are in the business communication. So the first is business communication is formal. We all know formal is nothing but something going in a pattern, something going in a way, its own way. There are no deviations. It is a flow from top to bottom. So similarly, the business organization has the three different level of management, that is top level, middle level, and lower level, and the information is being shared from a person from the top level to the middle level to the operational level, and this is entirely formal, where the information is being shared from person to person. And sometimes the information which is being shared, the business communication, will also be informal when the information is shared between the employees, between the workplace, between the workers. So this is business communication is formal. And the second is business communication is objective or goal oriented. As we discussed this in the meaning, so every company will have its own set of rules and regulations, its own set of objectives to be achieved. So short term and long-term goals will be specified by the organization, and effective business communication will lead to the achievement of these goals in a short span of time. So when the communication is reached in a proper way, there is no wastage of time, and time is money in the business organization, and wastage of time leads to wastage of money. Therefore, when there is no errors, when the information is clear, straight to the employees, there is no point of repeating the information or no confusions, and definitely there will be a goal oriented, and the objectives of the company will be reached in a very short span of time. The next the next feature is brief, clear, and factual. The business communication must always be clear and brief. When it is clear, it reaches this information, it reaches the receiver very clearly without any disturbances, and it should be based on a fact what is actually happening in our business organization, and it should be entirely related to the content of what information to be shared. The speaker, one who is speaking, or the sender, one who is giving the information, must always make sure that the information is brief, clear and facts, and it reaches the audience in a effective manner without any doubts or any misinformation is not being shared. He must make sure these are happening, that the information is clear, brief and actually factual. And next feature is dynamic and continuous. So dynamic is nothing but which is changing. The opposite of dynamic is static, stagnant. So the business communication will always be dynamic, that is, it will always be changing. It will never be the same. After a period of time, the business communication will be changed. Suppose, for example, we take the goals which has to be accomplished by the business. So for the first 6 months, the business will have a set of goals, and after achieving them, the business organization will change the rules, will change the objectives, and it will diversify them. So it will be it will think of expanding its branches and the business. So it is never constant, it keeps on changing on time, and as per they involve themselves in the business organization. And it is always continuous, it is never stopping, it is always continuous. That after a certain period, again it starts. There is no limit. For example, we have one meeting is conducted for a particular project. After the completion of the meeting, again we are going to conduct the second meeting for the second project. So similarly, there is no end. Till the end of the business organization, there will be a business communication. The next is internal and external. As the word itself specifies, internal and external, business communication is internal as well as external. In internal, they have to deal with the administrative managers, they have to deal with the employees, in the trainings, in the interviews, in the planning, everything. When we talk about the external business communication, here it refers to the clients and the public. They have to interact, and the way they showcase themselves in the market, etc. So these, for all this, the business communication is very important, so that they showcase themselves in an effective manner and reach their target. And next is persuasive and pervasive. So these are very similar, but still they are different in their own way. Persuasive is nothing but it means the sender who is giving the information, and the person one who is receiving the information, he has to convince the receiver. It means the sender who is giving the information must be appropriate and correct to the situations, and it must grab and it must convince the listener. But it doesn't mean that the sender has to give the wrong information, but he has to give the right information, and it has to be conveyed to the listener in a way that he has no confusion and he is getting convinced for the what information the sender has giving him. And pervasive is nothing but it is everywhere, it is important everywhere. It may be in the management, between the employees, between the managers, between the executives, everywhere the business communication is very important. Not only in the business organization, outside the business organization, as we talked about internal and external. It may be with talking with the clients, it may be talking with the public, interacting in the meetings. Everywhere the business communication is important, and it's pervasive in nature. And the next point is practical and unbiased. It means the business organization has to share the information in such a way that it is practical. It is actually happening. It actually has to happen. So it is not meant that it has to give the information which is unpractical, or which is not feasible, or which is not economical. The facts which are economical and feasible and which are very practical in nature, those information must be shared between the employees, and there it leads to effective business communication. And there should be no bias, no bias, that is there should be no partialities between the gender or color or anything in the business organization. So that leads to effective business communication. When there are differences in these gender or color or something else, then that will lead to ineffective business communication, and the targets that somewhere the person's emotions are being damaged, and that may not lead to effective business communication. It means that the information which is being delivered, that should be practical and it should not hurt the feelings of anyone. So these are the points, these are the characteristics of business organization, business communication. Yes, thank you for watching the video till the end, and please do like my video and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.